This meeting is being recorded.
What's going, Laura? How you doing? Can I say if before we everyone else jumps on, but I'm really impressed with you guys when Carl came out all that way. I mean, that shows dedication. So you guys really want to be successful at this, and I'm really proud of you guys.
Oh, thanks, Jared. It was a really hard decision. I think I didn't make the final decision until we were probably walking out the door to go.
And it's totally understandable. Like I said, like on my Friday call, and I appreciate you letting me kind of speak on it, but so many people are like in the exact same boat, So that's why it's really cool to have this type of conversation. And yeah, like no one would have blamed you if you didn't come either, with that big of a drive. But taking that massive action, that's gonna really help in the long run too. I mean, like it's teaching your brain what's important to you, and that's
Right.
really cool.
And then just FYI,
Yeah.
so you know, I don't mind who I went with. It's just I realized as we got out there and going together, neither one of us knew what we were doing.
And I think that's true for most, and that's what we're going to talk about too in today's, call. Some takeaways, some things, and how often you want to do this. I was planning on doing this just. Sorry, fix my camera here. I was planning to do like twice during the 90-day challenge, but the the turnout was so big, and so it was. I was gonna be tickled pink with 20 people showing up, you know what I mean, or 10 or whatever, even still. But man, right position. Doesn't want to. That's right there.
Well, I was telling Carl, I think pretty much everybody that is on here every day is the ones that actually showed up.
That's right. That's right. Yep, 100%.
That was nice to see too. So I learned a lot. I wish we had had a little bit more success, but I learned a lot.
Sure. No, and how did it go for you anyways? So you wish you had a little more success. So you got, hey Carla.
Hi guys. We got a lot of not a lot of people home. The ones that did open the door, we had two that opened their one. The first lady said, we got the questions out, told her what we were doing, got the question out, can we have a few minutes of your time to talk to you? And she goes, no, I'm not interested, and shut the door. The other person that told us, they go, I'm working from home and I don't have time to talk to you. But the other two that we ended up answering the door, they were both renters, and we didn't get anything with it. But we did talk to the NOD in the house at the NOD, but the owner wasn't home.
Right.
So, and they didn't know when they'd be home. So
they didn't know. So someone was there, but the owner
it wasn't the owner. Yeah.
Got it. Was it like the renter or what was?
I don't know if it was a renter. I don't know if it's a friend, because we went past after we talked to the NOD. We went and took to a couple more houses past theirs. And when we came back, the person that we talked to was getting into a car with a child, so I have no idea if they actually lived there or if they're friends.
Okay. Or was the owner just didn't want to tell you too?
That's true. That could have been it. Yes.
The cool thing is, did you catch the name by chance? The person that you talked to? Okay, which is fine. But I would call that person, like Skip Trace it. Go to Family Tree now, find the phone number. Do you still have the address?
I do. I took a picture of the paper on my phone.
Good. So I would reach out to him. It's your great lead. You do what you need. You're wrong with it, right? So I would reach out to him again, and it's just like, oh hey, I talked to you. I knocked on your door the other day, so you already have like an icebreaker,
right?
I didn't have a chance to chat with you. So that's put in. And I just realized that I did not upload the Friday's call. I mean, it was like the longest call we had, and
oh my goodness, I know Carl wanted to hear it too.
Yeah.
What did I miss?
Freddy's call.
Sorry, say again.
You missed Freddy's call.
Well, I know I missed Friday's call.
What's that noise?
Sounds like somebody's back.
I don't know if it's feedback or is it
I'll just mute them.
okay, there you go. Thank you. So I'm posting it right now as we speak because I just uploaded it on YouTube, then I can put it on here to post. Valid video.
What's up, brother?
Josh, what's up, man? We missed you the door knocking.
I know I got this job problem. Don't worry. Never happen again.
No, you're good, man. I get it. You're dismissed, that's all. But
Well,
it was
thanks.
freaking amazing.
I bet it was.
It was good, and it was really simple to follow that script, Jared.
Was it? Nice.
Yeah, I loved it. I love
that-
by the way, to validate your validation and I love everything about this. I think you're doing this is fantastic. I'm learning so much, and the way you've organized it is done really well. I love it. Because I get other challenges I've done, I just get really overwhelmed, but this is just so concise, and like every call is directed to a certain learning thing. And so I'm so glad I joined.
Yeah, glad.
So I brag about you all the time.
Because there's a few that are doing the 90-day challenge and then us doing the wholesaling. Has that been a challenge, or do you think it's actually helped doing both at the same time? What's your opinion on that? I'd love to.
I think it's a lot to do them at the same time. And the thing I think is hard with the first flip is and maybe because I'm behind on it, but there's just so much education, probably 15 hours a week of education to listen to. It's a lot.
Wow. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's if you didn't do a lot of the essentials or the other stuff. But I think each challenge you do, it gets less and less. But
right, because then you've already watched it. You can just kind of hit the
pass it off,
KPIs and everything. Okay.
Yeah, Jared.
They don't really focus on wholesaling a lot in there, so that's why I wanted to do this.
Well, and that's the benefit of this. It's and again, this is only to bring up or not bring up, but admiration as far as what Mitch and May are doing. Like they're not just finding leads and closing the deal, negotiating. They're covering that. They're also covering how to raise money, how to the contract, how to manage the deal, how to actually when you're selling it, what do you got to do and all that stuff. So they cover so much more. And the cool thing about the games is that it's just kind of focused in on. And if you know wholesale, it's fine, but it's finding the deal. Let's get the deal. That's the hardest part, and the rest kind of takes care of it.
I think it is. I mean, I think it's good to go through their challenge at least once, because if you are wholesaling and find that flip that you want to do, then you will know how to do it.
Totally. I agree 100%.
Everyone's going to come across that. You're like, oh, this is a dang good spread. I want to keep it. So.
Right.
Yeah, Jared, this platform that you created, it's peaceful. It's not hectic. And that's a big part is, we're not running around thinking we're failing and worrying about keeping up with the others. It's just this platform you've created is so awesome, dude. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Appreciate it, man.
Well, and it surprised me.
Jared's been a creator his whole life, and now he's just coming out.
Love it. Well, and it surprises me.
I told you that in confidence. I was still in the closet. I mean, what? I'm just sorry, Jen.
But it's surprising because I know you have ADHD, and it's been very awesome to watch you orchestrate and organize all of this, because I know that they're I have some of that too, and it's really hard to focus and organize things. productive manner. So hats off to you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
I thought it was gonna be difficult, but once you do the first one, the second one it's easier, and I think it's
true.
for all of it.
And that kind of almost doesn't. I mean, it does go away, but that nervousness at knocking on that first door or that first phone call or whatever, it's I still get that, right? I mean, who was with Carl? Carl was so I went out with only had time for 2 groups, but I was planning to get like 5 or 6, but just didn't time wasn't there. We had one door. We were there for like 30 minutes. Me and Rosa. That's right. That's what killed it. But it was a really good. I mean, that's gonna be really big for her. Like even
Yeah, we should have. You and I should have done that door first.
Well, we didn't mean to. It was like that was the NOD. Like we were just walking. Like we knocked on the door across the street because it had like a little sign on it. Which, by the way, anything that if driving for dollars, if you're knocking on doors, like if there's a sign on it, usually there's like that's typically from a like not a sign, but something taped on the door. That's typically from the city. Like it could be either for an eviction, could be for, but most of it's for like what do you call it? Violations. It was like a pet violation, actually, what it was. But that indicates some sort of challenge that they're in, right? And so we knocked on that door, and then we were like, okay, across the street is the notice of default, so we don't knock on that just yet. So we were just walking across the street to knock on the neighbor, and the wife stopped us, and she's like, "Oh, are you guys gonna buy that house?" And it was really, really cool because me and Rosa both speak Spanish, and so and she doesn't speak a lot of English, and so it ended up like we just had a great conversation. The husband jumped in, and then once the wife left, like he opened up about his situation, and it was cool. Yeah. And
you can have a module where you teach us Spanish because I think I need it.
The module I teach Spanish.
Yeah,
you don't want to learn the Spanish I speak. It's pretty bad. It's pretty broken. I don't know. I mean, I speak good enough. Yeah, but still.
Well, I speak Italian, but it does not serve me anything. No, there's no Italians anywhere.
It really helps to speak Spanish. It really does. And
just hang out with us. There's always somebody that speaks Spanish with us.
Right.
I said, just hang out with us. You know, we can team up with somebody
get the winning fucking shot.
That's true.
Serious.
Absolutely, it's phenomenal. And the more people you're talking to, I mean, that's the great thing about learning different languages. You just access to so much more people to communicate with. Amazing.
Well, I saw this TikTok thing. You put it on your ear, and it just automatically translates to your language. I might honestly get one. I give one to me and one to them.
That's a good idea. Because there was a few that were knocking, and their English wasn't the strongest.
Yeah.
And we're really worried about it, you know. So I mean, we made sure they had so there's someone that can communicate with them, right? So, but that's a good idea. Now I think about it, if they have that, and then even because you can do a Google Translate where you just talk to the phone and then have them, and it says it out loud. So if you're really it's something to consider. I'm gonna call. Is she on here?
I'll post a link on the board.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be phenomenal.
Because like even contractors, most of them are going to be speaking Spanish, and I've had a Google Translate a few of our contractors. It's kind of annoying. But if I had an earpiece, it would just be like a flow, you know, just keep talking.
Yeah. No, I love it. Love it.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Oh, and sweet. What other? So about the call. Now that we're all I think we're 10 minutes in. What other feedback and honest and true feedback? Like what? No hurt feelings here. Judgment-free zone. Did you see that in the chat, Jenny? Or Sandra says she'll teach you Spanish, and you teach her Italian.
Great.
Yeah,
Jenny, I can help if you're getting closer on a transaction. I can, if you guys are missing something, I can help you guys.
That's good.
Awesome.
That's
Thank you.
Phenomenal. Yep. Aubrey's very similar. Yeah, that's right. She says the Spanish is very similar to Italian, so you'll get a great base. That's for sure.
Well, I have a lifetime membership to Rosetta Stone. I should actually probably use it.
You guys want to know? When I first got connected to Renatus, before that I went back to school because I knew water was not the career for me, and before I found Renatus, so like, what do? You want to change your career? Go back to school. So one of the courses I took was Spanish, and it was Rosetta Stone. Like that's what they basically did. So I had my son because I didn't have time. Like I knew it was Spanish 101, And I just told my at the time 12-year-old son, he's 18 now. I was like, hey James, just sit here and do my homework for me. And so I have my 12-year-old do my college homework, which is hilarious. A little unethical, maybe, but that's okay. Anyways, okay, what other feedbacks do we have, right? Because so I got some feedback on the script, like you guys liked it, easy to follow. Did it make it easier knowing, like, not getting too complicated about things, or was it too complicated? What was some things? Why did you like it if you liked it, and if you didn't, what was some things that kind of turned you off about it, or whatever, right? Please let's dive into it.
I guess one question I had was, you asked one question a little bit differently, Jared. Like, is the neighborhood close to work? What was that question for?
So you want to find out if they have a job or not. That's
Okay,
helpful. It's like a need. It's not a need, but it's all of those questions are kind of like they're throwaway questions, to be honest. But if you're gonna ask a question, it gives you a little bit more information.
Trying to keep them talking
Right.
about like their situation. Okay, all right.
Exactly.
Because that was different from like what you talked about in the actual video. So I just wondered. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah. No. Absolutely. No. I appreciate it. And I screw the pooch. I didn't put this in any of the trainings or anything like that at all. And I didn't even say it until like after we're all said and done. It didn't dawn on me until I saw one while we're knocking doors. I'm like, oh my gosh, how could I have missed it? Which was the ring door camera thing.
Yeah, we appreciate that after.
You never want to touch those. Don't mess with them. Don't do anything. You just knock on the door. That's what they have for the doorbell. Don't ring the doorbell. Just knock on the door.
But can't they see your camera? They can see the camera anyway, right?
Yeah, they can see it. That's fine. But and they may respond through it. But the thing is, like, if you give them an opportunity not to come to the door and not have a real face-to-face.
You could hear them in there for sure. You could definitely hear pitter patters down the stairs. Then, oh no.
So sticking your tongue out and putting your mouth over it is no. Don't do that.
Every single door had a ring.
Stop.
Every house.
Yeah, so we don't want to. Yeah, so on those ones you're just supposed to knock on the door. And I learned from Maylee a lot of this door knocking stuff that I've learned. Obviously I kind of implemented other strategies, things that I've learned just throughout. But the big basis for what Maylee taught me. When Maylee took me out door knocking years ago, a big shout out to her. I mean, and she's learned from people that are better than you always, right? And that is something that's her strong forte. I am curious, and Sandra, I'll get to you in 1 second. I know you have your hand raised, but I'm curious. Those who went door knocking with Maylee during the 90-day challenge that's here. So Jenny, what was some things that, and again, like, feel free to. Like, no hurt feelings. What you like more, or what do you think we could have done, maybe implement what they did? Because I didn't go to any of the door knocking stuff from the 90-day challenge that Maylee was doing.
Yeah.
So what was?
I think, like, something I've noticed, I think I talked to Stanley about this, is that I think it's good to have a base script, but everybody has to adjust it to their personality.
Yes.
And so she had a good script, but for me, it felt really long. But for the way that Maylee's energy and her presentation, it works fantastic. I mean, she could probably get in every door she wanted to. And so I think if you try to follow a script too hard, you don't come off natural. So, like I'm not Jared, I'm not Maylee, I'm not Sandy. And so you need a basis to go off of, but then and then she had us to play that game bigger, better, which was a huge icebreaker, and had us wear all our gear, which you told us opposite. Yeah, because she wanted to pique people's curiosity, like, oh, by the way, we're part of this challenge and whatnot. So it was a completely different approach. I'm not saying it's not effective, but I think the biggest takeaway is you just have to do it enough and have enough scripts or whatever you want to whatever feels good for you, because you'll find your niche in it.
That's true.
Yeah, but I think what we said, Jenny, is that the way you made it, Jared, you made it usable that everybody can do this. Like, it's just like a few little things that everyone can easily remember and say to people that really hits home to everybody.
Yeah, it was so easy. I didn't have to use that paper.
We didn't. We just kind of could quickly remember things.
And that was my goal, right? Keep the script as and that's why I'm so hesitant in giving scripts just in general, because that's where people stop, you know, or they don't sound natural, don't sound like a genuine conversation. The key of actually getting past people's walls and get to a deal is just be curious. If you could just master of just being curious and asking yourself, well, why did they say that? So then you asking just questions and just letting the conversation go like a regular, normal, non-robotic conversation, like you're gonna get miles ahead of everyone else that's just doing, this. But with that being said, I know some people, like, if they don't have a basis, they it's hard for them to even move, and I get that, because when you're in front of someone, like, your mind draws blank, and it's just like, well, what do I go here, or so that's cool. So Maylee had like more of a structured script, and
it was pretty
great.
It was pretty long. I mean, it was kind of explain the challenge and what they're doing, and it was kind of more of like, I think her goal was to get people excited and curious about, what are you doing? What is this challenge that you're doing? And like have them. Yeah, but I had a hard time. I kept reviewing the script. I'm like, I don't know how to sound unless I actually read it, like was reading it. I didn't know how to make that sound like I wasn't trying to be Maylee. So yeah, but it was a good basis to go off of, for sure.
Sure, totally. And the cool with everything, like for me, like when I'm looking at, like, using an honest class as an example, I love how Brian Sump, he wordsmiths a lot of things. I love how Jay Massey and how he says certain things, and how he what I do, I just take, like, oh, I love that line that Brian did. I love how Chris Alvin says this, and I make a Jared version. So kind of what you were saying, Jenny, is this, like, all of my stuff, like this works for Jared, but no one's Jared, right? So it's like you're gonna find the perfect script that's perfect for Jenny, for Sandra, for Heather, and it's just gonna be, and you're not really gonna know it, and you're not gonna have it until you put the reps in. You know what I mean? So you're gonna try Maylee's script, you're gonna try mine, you're gonna do, Chris Allen's and Gavin's version of it all, right? So that's that. So there's no hands down, this is the best way to do it. What I'm showing you is the best way that I find the most success in. But I'm very open to, because even with like the wearing the gear, like, I'm kind of the opposite of what Maylee says, and I don't know what one's right. I think there's benefits to both, and I probably should, if anything, listen to Maylee, because she's better at that thing than I am, right? But yeah, it's just that's the beauty of it. There's no like hard right or wrong stuff. So Sandra, you had your hand up for a second. So what did you have? And you're on mute, by the way, if you're talking. I don't know.
Okay. No, I was just a little about the script. What you gave us was a direction. While we are there, and how can we serve them? So by us staying focused and our purpose in there, but without forgetting our real selves,
right?
It opens up the conversation. The first lady that we knock on, she saw us coming and she wanted to run inside. So we kind of like have pace our pace too, and instead of me asking her directly while we were there, we saw it like she was getting groceries out, and I said, "Do you need help?" So she kind of looked at us and like, "Oh, no," and then she started to kind of laughing, because at the same time she noticed, oh, I wanted to run inside and they wanted to help me.
Yeah.
But then yeah, she opened up a lot, but we were like having fun, we were talking to each other, and most of the houses that we knocked, they had rain, but we also, had a very intelligent people with us called Estella Branchley.
She's smart.
She even knocked on the door. So, but we were also like looking away. We weren't like stiff outside of the door. We were like friendly, and that kind of like probably wonder inside, what are these ladies doing that they're having fun outside? And I don't know, because most of their doors open. So that was for us. I was a little, oh my God, I have to go and do the script, at first, but it all flows once you know why you are there, and and how can we serve them, you know, like even if it's not, they're not looking to sell the house, but they were interested. They all agree that we kind of raise values of the neighborhoods. They all agree. So once you tell them, you start notice that they start saying yes, they just relax.
Yep.
You know, they just take the protection out of themselves. So, and one of the other things is like the fee for referrals.
Mm-hmm.
In these special times, I even mentioned the inflation, how this can benefit them.
Yeah.
You know, and they were like, yes, inflation is being like killing us and things like that, you know. So those little things that you gave us were pointers. So for us to stay focused, because sometimes it's like we don't want to straightforward tell them like, hey, we're doing this, you know, but it also helps us to stay focused because yes, we are there to get a deal. Yes, we are there to help them out. And yes, we are there to fix the neighborhood. So those things are really good. And yes, we are there to, you know, help us make money.
Right.
For everybody involved, you know, if
Where's
that
your
is
face,
possible.
Beauty?
What was that, Heather?
Where's your face at?
Oh,
it's just that I'm working. So, but here's my face.
Hi.
So
Good to see you.
I love how you put in there like or you mentioned that it's the energy, right? So if we're really nervous, again, sometimes it's especially that first door, like again, I'm even nervous in that first door. And, even when you're really nervous, like or if you're really kind of clammed up, you know, that's not very inviting, you know. So making it fun, like whatever it is to make it fun. So if we're doing like kind of what Jenny was saying, like doing the bigger and better, like doing something like that, or even having with your partner, having, I don't know, whether it's competition, whether that's little challenges, like I want you to say meow when you knock on this person's door, something, I don't know, whatever. It really doesn't matter. Like if you make it fun, then that energy is projected, and then they're gonna feel it. You're just having a good time. Like I want to hang out with these people, right? So have fun, and then be attractive Latina women, and then people are gonna open the doors. So that's the trick, right? No, that's I love it. So like most people are picking up the doors. I love it. That's cool. What else, Sandra? You have such amazing points.
Well, listening to them, you know, if it weren't for this lady, we wouldn't know that in that neighborhood we had a landlord. So besides the NOD, we had a landlord also that it was probably tired of having those houses. So that's where we got the lead. You know, we knew that he was the landlord. We didn't tell him, but when he opened the door for us, he brought us inside. Only one person, but we went two inside. We kind of omit one person. So we went two of the persons inside, and yeah, he was resistant at the beginning, but then after he was like, I told him, so you are the landlord of the neighborhood, and he kind of made a smile, and he's like, well, but at that point I said, okay, he's going to open up.
Yeah.
And he did, and that's what we got the appointment for tomorrow morning. So probably you're gonna be calling, and we all learn.
No, absolutely. Tomorrow, and I love that so much. And so Aubrey, I imagine you may be planning to talk about this already, but so why you have your hand up? Why is Nate here? Oh, you're on mute still. You're on mute.
Thank you. Sorry. So Nate is not here because he and Kelly are actually at the appointment that they found while door knocking. Yes. So they had one, and she was so the husband was super embarrassed and reluctant and defensive about it. So he left the conversation, but then the wife kind of hung back and told them, we really need to talk to you guys. We've had a few investors that have tried to help us and they can't. And it's a sticky situation. They have their niece and nephew living in the house and things. So she contacted them this morning and was like, hey, my husband's going to be gone. Can you come over at 10:30 today? So that's where they're at right now. But I wasn't able to go, but I heard a ton of good things from Nate because he did door knocking with this one and with Mitch and Maylee. And we loved that this one, there was already like a house that we knew was in foreclosure. So it wasn't like taking a shot in the dark. It was like we knew for certain there was somebody we were going to come in contact with that needed help. So that didn't feel like a waste of time to us. And then he loved the cauliflower method and just like all the info he got from people. He said one thing he noticed, like the script, like what was said, is super short and concise and to the point, and like it tells people how long you're going to be there, who you are, what you're doing. So they're not like, what are you doing? Like, you're wasting my time.
Yeah.
So we just love that the whole program has like, there's a point to everything, and it's just so concise, and there's no time wasting and no fluff. It's like application of knowledge. I'm trying to think what other feedback he said. Oh, so initially they like asked, and the foreclosure people were reluctant to say that they were going through foreclosure. And he's like, we tried to pull it out of them so much, and then they still wouldn't, and the conversation ended and they closed the door. And so he said, like, I feel like we have an obligation. And so he's like, maybe they don't know. So he went back and knocked on the door after they did like 2 referrals that they gave him. And they said, so are you guys in any trouble or going through foreclosure? And then that's when they opened up, and they were embarrassed. But he said, like, I don't know, it's kind of like Jenny said, like, you learn like your own little tricks and tweaks, and every personality is different. And some people are willing to open up about it and admit, and others kind of need that confrontation to say, you know, like we've had some of your neighbors say, maybe this house on the corner, is that your house? So that was the feedback I have.
And it was amazing that they went back to the property. You know, so they knew that this was the foreclosure property. They talked to the referrals and then went back, because, I mean, a lot of people wouldn't have the cojones to go back. You know, like, well, I already talked to them. You know, but they did because they knew. And I like what you said, Aubrey, that they felt like they had an obligation to try to help them. Because here's the thing, like, again, we've talked about the psychology of people that are going through foreclosure. Like, the worst time of their lives, it's embarrassing. It is just a really rough time. And so it's just like people desperately need some help. And because of pride, shame, mostly shame, that they, even though when Carla comes knock on my door and I desperately need Carla's help, my shame will make me defensive. It'll make it out of here. I don't want to talk about this or whatever, even though I'm going to lose my house next week. And Carla can come in and actually save me out of the situation, leave so I can walk away with some money. Aubrey, I had a question. Jenny had a question. I had a question as well, or the same question. So what did you mean by the cauliflower method?
Oh yeah. So it's when you know the house who is in trouble, but you go to all of the houses surrounding them first. So that way people can see that you're out and you're doing things, and you kind of get some information that maybe you don't have about this house. Because a lot of times neighbors are very like, they'll just spill all the beans to you and tell you everything.
Yeah.
Or other times they just know things, and if you gain their trust, then they'll tell you. So they kind of did that and got all this information, and they didn't realize the owners lived just a few doors down from the house that's in foreclosure. So he said that was super interesting to see that you never know, like, about the houses surrounding, and the owners were just right there. Because they knocked on the door to that house, and it was the niece and nephew that are renting from the aunt and uncle. And so they weren't really wanting to disclose because of their privacy. And they said, like, yeah, all of that. So that's what the cauliflower method is.
Yeah. So I didn't know it had that name. That's the strategy that I was teaching people. Like, but so where did that cauliflower method come from? I'm curious. Like the name, or if you know.
Yeah, I think that's what Maylee calls it. I don't know.
Okay.
And
I got that from Maylee too, guys. So this is, I mean, hands down, like or hands off, tip tap, whatever. You know, Maylee's awesome. But cauliflower. Okay, I didn't even know there was a name to it. So that's good. Okay.
So
I don't know if that's official or just her thing.
Yeah.
Me and Jill got a renter that they know that the owner is going to foreclosure, and they're getting like the boot. And he has like 3 properties that he's losing. Me and Joel were kind of running numbers and things like that. I think Joel's on with us right now, but it seems like there's not much wiggle room in these properties. And I know that you always say like a deal is created, but sometimes I can't see that. Sometimes on deals, I'm like, wow, these guys are so screwed. Like if they go to auction, like it's not going to be anything we can help, even if we got a hold of them. And in this situation, I kind of feel like all 3 properties is kind of in that situation.
It might be. Well, and there's scenarios where no matter what you do, you can't, without taking a bath, they're losing money. Sometimes there's not much you can do.
I think that they knew that they were just going to be so screwed. They've been collecting rent for like 3 different properties for like 6 months. So he knows that he's going to auction and he's just so screwed. He doesn't even care. He's just been pocketing the rent.
I'm sure he probably cares. But here's the thing, whether he believes he can fix the problem, he's given up. So, I mean, but there's still anyways. When you're at a point, like if they just owe too much and it doesn't make any sense, that's when it's like, okay, well, what if I just buy it subject to, so at least you're not having foreclosure record, or at least you're walking away with at least a couple grand versus losing everything. And then as far as creation goes, as creating the deal, a lot of opportunity is like, great, this is a great long-term play for like a long-term rental for somebody, depending on interest rate, how high it is, what the terms are, what the payments are, will it cash flow if we were able to catch them up on the payments and take over the mortgage kind of thing. So that's kind of where that's my first thought with hearing just from that. But it could be that it's so bad that there's not gonna make any money. But the thing is, like, if they're making payments, or if there's renters there and they're making payments, if they're paying, sometimes he just got over his head and just stopped making payments. So who knows?
Yeah, he just put it in his pocket. He knows that he's like losing it, and he's kind of like doesn't really want his ex to get anything. He just wants to like fuck it.
Great. So it's like, great. Let's make sure your ex doesn't get anything. We're gonna give you your here's a couple of grand for your trouble, and also stop the foreclosure. So when you do finalize the divorce or whatever the situation is, that you can still invest and buy properties because you're not going to have 3 foreclosures on your record.
Yeah, we may need to ask some questions with you afterwards.
That's it. So being curious. So exactly. So get a hold of this person and have a conversation. No need to you talk to the renter, which is a good icebreaker. I had a chat with so-and-so.
They gave us the number, and when Joel called, it sounded like there was a grandma involved, and she's like, "This is my child. Why are you calling?" And so I don't even know if it's the right number they gave us.
It was the child was the owner?
No. So I believe it was a wrong number, and that a grandma answered and was like, "Why are you calling my grandson? Like, who are you?"
So the grandson would have been the owner.
No.
Correct?
No,
the grandson is the renter.
The wrong number that they gave us, but the renters, we told them that they could get a little bit of a fee.
Yes.
And I mentioned to Joel, maybe the number was given wrong, and to have them double check.
You say you're calling. Okay, so you mentioned. I'm just wait.
Yeah, you're
fine.
I'm
a little slow. So you mentioned that the grandma said something about their grandson. Who is the grandson?
The renter gave us a number that went to a lady that said that we are calling her grandchild. I believe
we're calling her grandchild, and that grandchild
nothing
would be
to
the
do
owner?
with the property. It's a random number. The number that they gave us is not correct.
Okay. So because you say
and I can't find their number.
Throw me off.
Yeah, the number is wrong, basically, and it went to somebody.
The grandma answered the grandchild's phone.
Yeah, why are you?
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so I told Joel to possibly go back and make sure the number is correct, but we can't find the number on county record. Like, we can't find them, and so I don't know.
I mean, if I'd go back and knock on the door. Hey, I called that number. It didn't come to anything. Do you think they may have changed it?
Joel,
actually, there is a major problem. A major situation here is that his wife is involved in 2 of the properties.
Yeah.
He's only alone on one of the properties, but his wife is on the other 3. On one of the, I already put a lot of, not a lot of time, but I just look for information.
Sure.
And on one of the properties, he's upside down like $150,000. On one of the properties. The two properties are one property is probably even at the moment, and one property which is a townhome. He might be in good position there, behind on payments, but with good equity. I mean, like 130 something, $150,000 in equity. But his wife owns that loan, and there is another person that is involved in that loan as well as a cosigner or something. I pulled all this information for iOS, by the way. I mean, it's very interesting to see all these balances and the loans amounts and those things, dates and stuff. Not all the leads have that information, but this particular tree did. So, so basically, what we're going for the two properties that potentially have equity and we have something we can do something with.
Yeah.
But we've been looking for that wife number. So far we cannot trace it. We need to find another source so we can trace that number.
So the husband you're talking to, right? And so there's three properties. One's like pretty much like it's got to be a short sale if they're going to sell it. Like it's just not. It doesn't make any sense. They owe more than it's worth it. The other two, there's some potential equity in it.
Potential.
So those are the ones that you're talking to. So do you have kind of an agreement with the husband? Is he kind of like,
haven't been able to get a hold of the husband.
That's why.
Friend of his and gave us the number, but when we called it grandma.
Gotcha. That's where that's the problem came in.
Yeah,
okay.
that was the wrong number.
Okay, so I
think it may have been incorrectly given to us, and so I asked Joel to get back a hold of him today, maybe.
Right. I mean, even if you go back to the house and knock on the door, like, hey, remember us? We were here the other day. I think I may have written down, and always, you made the mistake, right? Yeah. Oh, I may have written down the number wrong. I'm such an airhead. What? This is the number that I wrote down. Is that right? Because I called some kid. It was the wrong number, and then like, oh, my bad. Is this? Or do you have any other numbers that could be, or or even an email, anything I can get, whatever you can. So I'd knock on their door again for sure.
Hello.
Yeah.
There's a guy with us. I think his name was Manuel or something like that. But he was using this one app. I think it was on Safari. It was like Fast Find. I forgot what it was called. But I would contact him because he showed me how to get the number just using the address. And once you put the address in there, it'll tell you the owner's name of the property and stuff. And it'll give you the number. And I honestly don't know what the name. I forgot the name of the website was, but it was also
who was
free.
it? Was it Manuel? You said that had the app.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Euka. Las grapas.
Frankie, you killed me. Okay.
Sure.
Awesome. Got it. Well, good job, Joel, or Joel and Heather.
So and we have another lead. I mean, Aldo and I we found another lead. Actually, I got 4. I mean, those 3 houses and one more. I got 4. And I've been working on these other numbers. The thing is, it's a divorce. Oh, but by the way, let me tell you, I kind of broke your script. I totally broke your script. We came to this house. Yeah, it
works.
Yeah, and this is what happened. So Aldo and I, we were knocking doors, and then this old lady entered through the window.
Mm-hmm.
She was very unwilling to talk to us, and then we like, hey, we just saw in the neighborhood, and we've been fixing properties in this area, and we're looking for people. I mean, because we need a shortcut real quick because she was going to shut the window.
Sure. Yeah.
And I figured, well, nothing to lose. She's going to shut us down. So I didn't warm up. I didn't question much. Hey, we're looking for people that might be willing to sell their homes. Do you know somebody might be willing to sell their homes? Going through divorce, going to bankruptcy, or doing behind on payments or something. And this old lady was like, she wanted to get rid of us. And she was like, well, I think that house across the street, and she pointed out the houses. Either on this one or on that one, that lady is selling the home. And so she pointed out like 3 homes. So we went knock at those 3 homes. And one of them was the lady that was selling the home. anyways, when we knock at the door, the second lady was on the phone, and you can tell on the body language, how available they are, to talk or to be open for conversation. When she opened the door, you can tell that she wasn't open, period.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I mean, she will close the door and she will not talk to us if we don't throw the questions straight.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, do you know someone around here that is selling the home? And she was like, I am selling my house. I'm like, okay, all right. So do you mind if I ask why? Because I'm getting divorced. And like, okay, what about if I buy your house? Huh? What? And how quick? Well, I can buy quick, but I noticed that you're on the phone. If you want, we can have a conversation. Or, well, yeah, I'm with my therapist right now. And yeah, can you wait? Well, I can come back in an hour or two. And oh, for sure. And then we did. I mean, kind of the story there. So we went there, and she was really, open. She wanted desperately to sell a house. The only problem that we have here is that she already signed with the realtor to sell the home. However, that's a barrier at the moment, but she is willing to get out of the contract to sell the house quick with us.
Yeah.
So that's work to do there.
Sure. No, that's awesome.
And
Congrats, guys.
And that lead was found because we just totally went away from that script.
Sure. No, I mean, what works. So
Right.
and again, like we mentioned before, like the script is what I like to use, but every situation may be a little different. And for Joel and Heather, like they was like, hey, they like just straight, more direct, and that there's not a wrong answer to it. You know what I mean? So I love it, and I love you guys got you got a lot of really good leads just from knocking on the door and doing the color.
So basically, on this house, we were able to get the numbers. We were able to survey the house. I mean, we took pictures and videos, and the lady was very cooperative. Okay, on that divorce case.
Yeah.
On the other case that Heather was talking about with the renter, she was about to, to complete it or finish the conversation because we had pretty much all the information that we thought we could collect.
Yeah.
And then again, we wrote the script and said, hey, do you mind if we take a look? Because if we happen to buy this property, we would like and talk to the owner. We would like to have more information. Can you let us take a look at the property, at the house? And she let us in all the way to the kitchen. So we inspected the property. We talked to the lady. She took us the numbers because on the owner in some point offered to sell the house to the renters. So we collect a lot of information just by carrying report and by, I guess, just by asking the questions.
The answers are in the questions.
Hey, Joe, I guess just another thing that you guys have to consider when you guys going through work with divorce cases, make sure that you know where they are on the stage on the divorce, because you need to know exactly what is the owner on the property, what are entitled that. Make sure that you guys make knowledge that there is the husband and the wife, they both signed those contracts for you guys. But yeah, good job.
Yeah, and actually about that, the lady told right in front that the husband is not very cooperative. Okay, actually the realtor in order to make the husband to sign, she needed to chase the husband. Finally he signed up, and because he doesn't want to contribute to the payments or any of that of the house, now he's willing to sell as soon as possible. So that's a plus.
And that's the thing with divorces. Sometimes one will just like be cooperative, and the next minute like comes down to signing. It's like, no, I don't want to do it. Like just to screw the partner. Like that does happen, right?
Right.
Unfortunately, but it's not. But good job, guys. That's awesome. So you just asking questions. Got you found something that works for you, and that's perfect. That's exactly what you need to do. I love it, love it.
And even though we can do this by ourselves, I think it's very helpful to have a partner.
Yeah,
because
just for safety reasons, I would say bring a partner. I would
because
hardly
Heather, for instance, we were there and Heather were asking questions because she was processing the information and I was processing the information. And as I was asking questions, she was processing the information to ask the next question, and so on. So it was very helpful to be on partners.
Right, and especially you ladies. I mean, make sure you have you're definitely not going by yourself. And even guys too, you probably shouldn't. But
my other knocking door guy had a taser, so I was safe.
I mean, your taser can be knocked out of your hand, so just be careful. You know what I mean? So it's good to have those step protection, but yeah, you have to be close to use that. So just don't rest on taser laurels. You know what I mean? Make sure and if you're comfortable going by yourself,
kung fu fighting.
Just make sure people know where you're at, or at least the area, and then just be safety first. Jenny, you had your hand up for a minute. What's up? And then I got some questions I want to ask everyone.
Okay, this is related but kind of off subject. One thing I've thought a lot about, like inviting people to Renatus or we're all inviting people to do something right. How important, because I just joined that drive system, Saladio. How important do you think it is? I don't know how much you've implemented gearing conversations according to someone's drive, basically their personality type.
Yeah.
Because I find when I go off of my personality type, sometimes my overexcitement will be a big turnoff to people.
Yes, right. What I'm like sitting down, like doing like a sales call or something like that. Like if I know their drive, then it becomes a lot easier because I know what points to hit and what points to stay away from. If I'm talking to a director and I'm talking about the back office stuff and the details and all that stuff, that's just gonna bore them. That's gonna be like, dude, what are you? But if I'm talking about, the excitement of you'll be able to go to trips, whatever, and intellectuals like, dude, where's the back? I want to see the back office. I want to see all of the steps before I even think about it. So yeah, I think it is very, very powerful to.
Okay, so you do use that, okay.
Yep. And the thing is, a lot of times you can just if you have cards or or if you send them the link or whatever, like for like in sales a situation, hey, let's just play games so we can get to know each other a little better, so I can see if I can help you the best way. Here are these 5 cards. If you just want to place them in order for things that make you feel important, not what you think is important, but what makes you feel important. Like I know my family is important, but it doesn't necessarily make me feel more important than some of these other things.
So you are a part of Saladio?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't been working that too much, but yeah, it's definitely.
Well, they have a call after this if you want to get on.
No, phenomenal. That's a great question, Jenny. So yeah, if you can implement the drive system, it's only going to help you, especially in sales. So one question I had for you guys. So it seemed like it was overall very positive. I love the fact that, especially when everyone kind of came back, it was almost consistent. Like they're really, really nervous. And everyone was surprised on a couple of things. They're surprised on how easy it was. They thought it was a lot harder than it actually was. They were surprised like how people would open up to them, and even like the script, like, oh, this is a lot easier than I thought. Like, and even when people didn't have a lot of success, just hearing about what everyone else, what they kind of went through and what they experienced, got them excited to go out again. Like CJ and Lily, they just had some bad luck. They didn't really have a lot of success in it. And they're like, oh, this is dumb. But then after hearing all of your guys' stories, kind of what happened, like, oh, we gotta hit this again. Maybe we just had a bad neighborhood. Let's go somewhere else. So I really love that. My original plan was to do door knocking twice during the 60-day challenge, but being that the turnout was a lot bigger than I expected, I'm so grateful for that. I'm open to doing more than just one more time before the 60 days is up. What are your guys' thoughts of? And you guys don't need to wait for us to do as a group. I think it's a huge help regardless. What was that, Carl? Were you saying something?
Carla and I and Rosa were talking about doing it every other week.
Yeah. Right.
Me and Leo are knocking doors next Friday. He's super driven and I love it. So we work really well together. So I have plans to do it on Friday.
Sweet. That's awesome.
And I will hook up with anybody I can anytime I'm available. The only problem I have is just driving down to Salt Lake. Can't do it every weekend.
Where are you at?
I'm in Eastern Idaho.
Oh, okay.
They drove down. Him and Laura drove down from Eastern Idaho to do a couple of door knocking with us.
Hey, you're in
Idaho. I'll be in Idaho this weekend if anybody wants to go door knocking.
Oh, that's so cool.
Where in Idaho?
Burley. Paul, Idaho.
You're going to Burley?
Yeah.
Twin probably be a good place from Burley to go door knocking. I don't know so much about Burley.
It's like there's like 10 people there. Yeah, I'd have to go to a bigger city.
Yeah.
Well, you can knock the whole city there in pretty quick then, in half an hour.
Hey, that's a good idea. Maybe I should do that. Burley and Paul and the other city. Yeah, they're all pretty tiny.
Go to Oakley, Declo, Rupert, Paul.
Yeah.
So I had a question for you guys. So I am in Pocatello, but if one of the reasons why I didn't went to door knocking, it was because after we find the first deal, since I'm not there, so the partner that we go through will have to be the one to do the whole transaction because I will be gone. So that is why I was like, okay, maybe don't go. But if someone is open to work with that, I will make it down, and the person that partner with me can keep going with that. We get closer, I can go there again, but I feel like it will be hard, right? Like, I don't know what you guys think.
Well, I mean, because the agent thing, right? It depends how you set things up too, because it's like if you start the let's say if you're knocking by yourself or or another fellow agent or something like that, as long as you're disclosing you're an agent, then you're like, okay, great, my partner is going to come down and set the appointment for your husband or whoever your non-agent person that you want to kind of do a lot of the work with. So you kind of initiate the conversation, and then because the whole goal is like on door knocking, right? Set appointments. That's it. You don't need to convince them to sell at a discount, to sign the contract. If you can, right there, they're awesome. More power to you. But that's not necessarily the goal. The goal is just to set an appointment so that you can do your deal analysis on it, and then you go back, you're ready to give them an offer. Now, whether that's sooner than later, if it's that same day, awesome, like Joel did, right? Or if it's like the next day or whenever the next possibility is, right? So yeah,
I was talking more like that you guys went in group, right? Like I had a partner. So I was feeling like it would be not fair to that partner that we start this and then okay, I'm going and gone. I have to go back to Pocatello, and then that partner will be doing the whole job because I'm here. I was thinking like that would be not beneficial for that.
Wait, what do you mean? So like
I think it would depend on what you agree on, what percentage, right? Who's doing, like you mentioned the other day, who's doing most of the work, and just divide the percentage that way. But I think it's doable.
Yeah. Next time you do door knocking, I would go and see if somebody wanna partner up with me. I would love to. But yes,
Hey, I'll tell you right now. If you want a door knock in Pocatello, just let me know. I will happily come down and help you.
Okay, that sounds good, Carl. So let's do it. I like it.
Hey, I'm free this weekend if you want to. Maybe I'll check with the wife.
Yeah. Check with the boss.
I will reach out to you, Carl. I think I have your contact.
I like how Carl he came out here, but now he's bringing people to him. That's the way to do it. There you are, buddy. That's the way to do it. Love it, man. And thanks, Carl, for letting me pick on you a little bit during the beginning of the.
Yeah, just never ask me what the weather's like.
Yeah, because then I don't want it to rain, especially coming from your mouth.
Yeah, it'll rain. Trust me.
I love it. What if we did something? What if we did like the 28th? Because this next weekend and then the weekend's the 21st. Like that's the busiest shopping day of the year. Well, okay.
You don't work at Walmart anymore.
True. Very, very true. Well, I mean, I'm down to the 21st. We do the 21st, like next. I mean, not this weekend, but next weekend. Like I'm game. And then we can try to give people options because they're going to be home from work. Even if they're like usually they're off, and if they're not working, that's probably people we want to talk to. What do you guys think? Or the 28th?
And people are going to be really stressed because of Christmas, so we might actually be able to get some more communication going.
Yeah. little more willingness to talk to giants like Carl, I mean, to regular people. Anyways, yeah. So what do you guys think? What would be? And you guys can go on your, again, continue going on your own and just going ham on stuff, right? Going ham on the.
Well, Jared, will we do a different neighborhood, like a different city?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We do a different. So same kind of thing. We'll get 20, 30 leads in that city, and then we'll just do the same thing, like separate, and then.
Let's head north and look at Ogden. See what we can do up there. A little closer for me.
Well, I think I mean, I love doing stuff in Weber County, but if we can get it, I think most people are in in Salt Lake County. So I kind of want to have it so less barriers for people to come,
Hey, I'm a validator. I'm more important. That's all that matters.
Oh yeah, we know you're important. Absolutely.
Jared, can we we'll be able to do it a little bit earlier?
Yeah. What are you thinking? Yeah, I'm open for ideas or times.
Like 9 or 10, just because I have to juggle a lot of kids, and so I have to get babysitters and stuff. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I don't know if a time of day is better than the other to be more effective.
Bring the kids with you. We can always use the little frozen children thing.
Okay, I got 4 of them, so that would be perfect.
Yeah, just start loaning them out.
We can hand them out. We can all borrow one.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe I will. That's actually not a bad idea. They would probably love it and be a leverage.
It really works really well. Honestly, I was happy how many doors I actually got inside when my at the time 8-year-old was just.
One is probably less intimidating at a door too. I mean, if they look on the camera, they're like, "Oh, they're gonna sell cookies. How cute!" Exactly.
It's just right before Christmas, or you know what I mean. So yeah, absolutely. I'm okay doing a little earlier if we do. Honestly,
actually, I don't care. If I honestly might bring my kids. So anybody wants to borrow a kid. You can't.
So I bring mine too.
Yeah. And just when we knock them, just make sure they're actually cold, and then they'll get
child rental service.
Oh geez.
Hey, Jared, are you busy after this phone call?
Yes, but what did you?
So I got a hold of the renter while we were on this, and she's double checking the number and then giving it to me.
Oh, sweet.
Me and Joel need a little bit of guidance on this one.
Sure. Yeah. Let's chat and see what we can do to.
Okay.
We talk about that.
We can see it differently. I mean,
sure.
I don't even know if there's much wiggle room, even if we got a hold of them.
But we just so don't do any research until I get a hold of them. On it, right?
Okay.
So
I'm trying not to, but we were just peeking a little bit, and then I was like, if we can't even get him to say yes, but then I'm like, wait a second, even if it is a yes, it may not even be worth it. Just double peeking.
Sure.
Because we were trying to see whose name was on it. It was what we were doing. And we were like, wait a sec, this may not even, I don't know. If you have a minute, me and Joel may need to talk to you.
Yeah, we can jump on. I do have so at 12:30, I have another. Oh, if it's right after this call, let's connect.
Okay, let me get really, really fast because, like you said, if we don't get hold of them.
But hey, we'll talk. But so what do you guys think? Should we do the 21st or the 28th as far as like another door-knocking bonanza?
I vote 21st.
21st.
Yeah.
I think we do it sooner than later.
Because I think,
as long as I can make it down there, I'm there.
There were some crosstalk. So Paul's gonna come if you can make it. What was someone else saying?
I think the 28th would be harder because that's Christmas week and people are gone and busy with kids, and that's just my opinion.
And I definitely agree. The only thing is, like, people that are about to lose their house, like, we can give them the gift of hope for Christmas.
That's true.
The 28th would work for me.
Okay. Would the 21st work at all, or no?
No, I got Christmas parties and stuff. That's really busy weekend. And I'm on call again.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah.
I would love to be on the
10
next
o'clock in the morning. Come on, man.
On call, you can just walk with us, and then if you get a call, go in.
Yeah.
I don't want to approach homes in my uniform, unfortunately. That's
Dude.
bad reputation.
Superman, man.
I don't know about bad reputation.
That's in the bathroom.
That's a pattern interrupt. Like, if like your uniform is that shirt right there, right? You don't look like a salesperson at all. You look like someone that's doing like construction work or something. That I would almost like, even if you're not in call, wear that shirt. I'm not even kidding.
His shirt has
Okay.
towing. They might think that he's like gonna tow their car or something.
Oh yeah, repo guy. Oh, never mind. Now that I think about it, maybe not. That's a good point, Heather. That's a good point.
And I would have to have my big tow truck around. So yeah.
Yeah.
I
You might get people answering, get out of here, you know.
I think you should try it.
We're just gonna repo. Yeah, I'd be curious to find that out. That'd be very.
Them off.
Yeah. Yeah, I was down and ready for the last weekend, but right at 11:15 I got back to back, and I was like, really? Quiet all day long until I had to get out the door to meet up with you guys. I was pretty bummed.
Yeah.
Do the poll in the community after it.
What was that?
Do the poll in the community and the
I was I was gonna do the exact same thing. I was gonna say let's do run a poll. Who as far as the 20th versus the 21st and 28th, and then the majority will win. So make sure to vote in the poll. I'll create. I'll get it out there.
Did you see my question in the chat?
Here. What's your question? Shoot it out again.
Okay, so I will just shoot it out right now.
Yeah.
So I have a property in Kearns that I'm looking at, and it's kind of a weird one. So UDOT, the Utah Department of Transportation, it says they're the owner on it, but it wasn't purchased in total. They own a small portion of the property along with an easement. Which, looking at the property and what I could research and find on it, it only shows UDOT as the owner. So I emailed, because I had one guy that when I called UDOT, the lady transferred me to a guy that deals with this, but then he emailed me who is on the property and knows about it.
Perfect.
And he's the one that responded saying they don't have full ownership of the property. So I emailed him back asking if he could call me or email me back if he knows any of the owner's information. Can you kind of answer what an easement is?
So an easement is basically so if I have a property and someone has an easement, they have the rights to use that portion of the property. So for example, if it's like a weird shaped lots, and the only way to get to like my back lot is to basically drive through your property, I would have an easement to use that portion of your property as a road kind of thing. So easement is basically permission to use someone else's property or
which I guess that makes sense, because looking at the pictures and when I drove by it, what I could see, it does look like Banger's about right there behind them. So that makes a lot of sense.
Here's what I would do. I would go out and call them, or excuse me. First of all, I would email that guy again and say, are they even open to selling because they own a portion of it, or they own a easement, or I'm not quite sure how that works, but if they own, if whatever portion they have, are they open to selling? Because if UDOT's not open to selling, it doesn't matter if the other person wanted to sell too, as far as my understanding, right? So it's like, you have a contact, see if the door's open there. Like, are you guys selling it? What's your plans? I am interested in buying the property, and then that'll give you a good direction to follow after that.
Okay. Yeah, because looking at the home and when I drove by it this morning before the call, I mean, it looks like it could use some help.
Sure. Yeah.
Definitely. So.
Okay, great. Awesome, guys. Yeah, we missed you out, Claudia, but next time we'll have you in the Doorknocking. But yeah, let's call it a day. And I really appreciate you guys. This is awesome. Heather, just give me a call and we'll chat after this. Sweetness. Oh, Zach sent a message for you, Taylor. Drop her email, and if you wanted to talk about, he found one in Utah as well. So
we decide on day to knock or still up in there?
Can you do what?
Did we decide on a day to knock, or is it? It's still up in there.
I'm gonna do. It's still up in the air. It sounds like we're more likely the 21st, but I'm gonna create a poll on the feed in the community.
Can we do
and
both?
Then that'll give us
Can we do both?
a better feel, especially people who can't make it on the call. They can still put in their 2 cents if they want to come.
Yeah.
So
Can we do both, 21st and 28th.
Good.
I'm with you, Heather. Like agree with the
Why not? The more houses, the more.
Yeah. I mean, the options are definitely there. But even if we don't go as a group, then just grab someone or just go out and start knocking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's good to kind of give the energy that's involved and all that stuff. It's pretty cool.
I
So
agree. I like it.
beautiful.
Hey, Zach, I put those emails in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, get a copy of.
We have momentum. Let's keep it up.
Right. Marjorie asks, how do I find the notice of default list? There's quite a few ways to find the notice of default list. Is one, title companies can send you a notice of default list. Renaissance iOS, other third-party companies can give you a somewhat updated notice of default list. So there's quite a few options of pulling up notice of defaults. Hope that helps, Marjorie. Okay. Awesome. And Zach, if you don't get a hold of, if you couldn't copy and paste the Taylor's email information, just text me. You don't get it, then I'll give it to you. I'm sure I'll get you.
I got it. Copy and paste it. I got it. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. I'm so impressed and happy with all your guys' efforts. This is so cool. Let's get some more deals. I love this. Okay. See you guys.
Thanks, Jared.